will be appreciative of.
As you look at, I don't know whether each one of you have a child, but as you look at these children in the situation that they're in, how does that look at you, make you, look at your child differently?
Wow, that is a fantastic question. I don't have children per se right now, but these children are my children, I guess, I would say. And when I look at them and to know that I've had a part in making something joyous happen in their life, it brings an immeasurable amount of joy to me. One thing that Tony and I, we were discussing earlier too, to make sure that we discussed is when your child, for those of you who do have children, when your child says something is bothering them or they don't feel right about something, to take them to be seen. That's something that we were discussing.
Yeah. Take them to their yearly checkups.
Yes.
We have to be our children's eyes and ears.
Yes.
So we can't take anything lightly. We never know what's going on. So we encourage the parents to pay attention to their kids, take their kids to their checkups. Feed them healthier foods. Just be involved in their child's life.
Yes.
I know you discussed as far as taking the children to the physician, but don't we have, as far as adults, some of us have problems us going to the doctor.
Yeah,
I mean,
you're right.
This is true.
Yeah.
So we have to really teach ourselves
Wow.
Yes.
that, because because we have this, some of us have this stigma as far as going to doctors that we're afraid of it. And it's a good thing.
You made a good point. That's another thing that we discuss sometimes. We like to say this is, our children aren't doing this, our children aren't doing that. But the parent, it's your job to teach your child the good habits to have, the good things to do. And you have to take it serious enough that a child is a child. And he or she is only going to emulate what the parent does. And as parents, you have to take that responsibility card on. Even if you yourself don't, particularly like to go to a doctor, your child is the most precious thing that you have. It is your responsibility to take care of that gift that you've been given. There's a lot of people in the world who can't have children, and they would love to have the gift, that some parents have been given. So it's your responsibility as an adult to take care of the gift, the child that you've been given. Get them to the doctor, get them to their annual checkups. Even if you yourself have a fear, start to teach them good values, good habits, so that they can pass that on to their child.
How do you deal with the parents that are going through this journey with their child? How do you help them out and assist them with this journey? Because I know it has to be just as hard on them watching the child, my child, go through the situation.
Yes.
So how do you?
It's an interesting process to see that, the child itself is going through so much, but as you mentioned, the parents are going through so much internally, financially. We have a lot of the program directors, they have made us aware that sometimes parents are spending their rent money, their car money to make sure their child has the medicine to be taken care of. So it's not just the child is sick, but it permeates so many levels of their existence. They're out of money, and these bills medicine is $1,000 a shot, $10,000 for an operation, you got to have this or your child could die. It's a lot that the parents are going through. So as a charity, we do try to, if we can, whatever we can, provide them. If it's a financial blessing, we try to provide them with that. If it's a medical blessing, that we can connect them with the right, doctors or whatever we can do in that aspect. But I will tell you from my experience of working with Celebrity Charity Wishes, to see them smile also affects me,
Right.
as well. Because just for that moment in time, you've seen them have some joy in the situation that they are going through. And you can't heal or fix everything in one day in one charity event. But to see them smile, they've had some joy, even if it's for 24 hours, to forget the bills, to forget, the sickness. They come in and they enjoy, they have some festivity in their life for that 24-hour time period. And, that in itself is a joy to know that we've been able to bring that to their lives.
And we actually had one of our board members, Dave Linkard, that lent out his house in the mountains to one of our parents. I was able to care for the child for the week, and her mom went just to get away, in the mountains for a week. So that was an experience. So.
Yes.
So this, it has to create a kind of like the softness in the heart of even the hardest individual, as far as to give for this type of situation, because just blessed, just not that it's not happening to me is it has to come in their eyes.
Yes.
Sometimes we look at money and all that, but that can be
It means nothing if your child if your child is dying and you have all the money in the world. There's no comparison. I know many people who would choose their child versus having all the money in the world. Tony, myself, and our other founder, Lenora, were discussing a young man. He was 9 and he had a very serious form of leukemia. His father had to take off work. He had 2 other siblings. He lost his job. His house was going under. And all that man could talk about was how his child had to go through chemo treatments. All he could talk about was, I need to find the medicine to help my child. He wasn't at that time focused on the financial burdens of the house, the job. He was focused on making sure his child was alive. And we were talking about how that just happened. And so we were talking about how that was a signal for us to keep doing what we're doing through Celebrity Charity Wishes. No amount of gold, no amount of silver, no amount of jewels could amount to that 9-year-old sitting right across from his dad. And he had just been released to fly that day to go, to see the rest of the family, because he had been through so much. And his doctors, got him to the point where he's in remission from the leukemia, and that he had a chance to spend Thanksgiving with his family. So no amount of money, if you love your children, nothing financial can replace that. We've experienced that, seeing that so many times
several times
on our own.
Being that your organization deals with terminally ill children, how does Tammy and Tony, how do you separate your emotional attachment to that child, knowing that there may be a possible date when that child will no longer be here?
Well, as Tony was saying earlier, one of our mentors, Mr. Leonard Wheeler, formerly of the Carolina Panthers, met with us as we were building
Celebrity Charity Wishes.
the Celebrity Charity Wishes, the foundation of Celebrity Charity Wishes. And it's so funny that you bring that up, because that is one of the main things that he brought up to us. You guys have big hearts, and you're probably going to want to adopt and take care of every child that you come into contact with. So we were kind of presented with that question, from the very beginning. And I'm glad that he did, because it put us in the mind frame that we're not miracle workers, we're not God, we don't make the decision as to who stays or who goes. But while we are here, we will do what we can, everything that we can, to bring some happiness into the life of someone who's going through some true turmoil.
And and the three of us will love that child. We will wrap our hands around that child. We will pray for that child. Lenore, Tammy, and myself, whatever it takes at that time, those are our angels, those are our hearts. And we know that we were ordained to do what we're doing, the three of us together. So
we got 3 minutes left in the show.
Okay.
I mean, I know you talked about volunteer. Why is it so vital that we volunteer?
Wow.
We help out with your organization, because it's a special organization.
Well, we appreciate you saying that. We do believe too that it's a special organization. It's vital for charities to have volunteers, because it's so much that goes on during the year. Like we were saying earlier, always accepting any types of gifts. And a gift doesn't have to be financial. It can be your time. It can be your skills. It can be, if you have resources to connect the charity to continue to get the help that it needs to grow. So for those of you who are watching the program today, volunteering and giving doesn't necessarily always mean I have to give, financially. We always accept financial givings because a charity needs it to continue to bless others. But if you can give your time, your skills, if you can be a volunteer that gives of your resources, maybe you know someone that can help the charity in a different, in a better capacity, we will accept that as well.
And we do thank our collaborators that we have now.
Oh
we
my
have
gosh.
Blue Premium Drink.
Yes.
They've been with us from the very start.
Yes.
Pryla Magazine,
Awesome.
major collaborator with us. We have
CTAR.
CTAR.
We have so many.
So many.
So many.
NFL Association. We do appreciate them as well.
Thank you, ladies, for coming on the show.
Thank you.
Really
you.
appreciate you coming on, educating us on celebrity charity.
Wishes.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching the show. You be encouraged.